Hi guys, I saw this great compost pallet. There were no instructions how to make it though, so I'm going to try to do this for my own backyard. And yeah, I guess instructions are being made now. And if the owner of this design wants to step forward, I'll gladly hear from him and give him credit. So what I'm first going to do is I'm going to saw right through the beams next to this piece of wood right here, and then I'm going to screw everything together. When you're done the front, you got to also do the back. Next, these beams on the back, they need to come out. So I'm going to start here, cut these out, and then cut these out on that side. See, what the plan is just kind of tilt that over and connect that over here. So yeah, these beams in the middle, they need to come out. I set up my bricks and I put the rest of my pallet against the wall, so I have some force that I can put on there to get my screws in, and the screws are going to go in on the bottom, and two more screws are going to go up in the big block in there. The middle one that has no block will be attached to the other board on the, what you can see here, the second bottom right there. I had to replace one board. It was completely rotten away. I already made a new board to go on there, and I wanted to show you. These are the nails that are coming out of these pallets. Kind of big. The other two I just smashed back in there, so I only took out one to show you. In case you're wondering how I took the nail out, good old-fashioned tool. Okay, this is what we got so far. Okay, and now that we got that one done, we need one more pallet and do exactly the same. I just cut up two more pieces, and I'm now going to attach the piece on the right side to the piece that is already put together. Okay, first part is done. And now we need to add the front and the door. And the bad news is you got to take the rest of the pallet apart. So the hardest part is now to take this last piece apart. My best guess is take the first parts of the wood off. That would be this. Take this off. And then get the nails out. And then get this block off. But it might work easier if you take the planks off first on the other side. But we'll see. I'm going to start with this and get the nails out. So that needs to be done first. And we do that with a crowbar and a hammer. I'm just going to put the crowbar underneath the wood, hammer it underneath it, and take it off. It's going to scare my dog probably. Probably be running. Crowbar, hammer, 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 hammer. Break. That was pretty easy. So far, so good. Get that part off. So this is going to take some time and make a lot of noise, so I'm going to turn you off for a second. Don't know if you can see that, but it's crawling with roly-polies in there. That's pretty gross. Blech. Okay, this is what I got so far. I broke some wood on that side. That was where the roly-polies were, and they were also on the other side. That side, by the way, was completely clean. There were no roly-polies in there, and there were no roly-polies in the middle there either. So yeah, they go after rotted wood. obviously, or they are the cause that the wood is rotting. Who knows? I don't have any more energy to get that last block off, or that quarter block on that side. But what I do have energy for is hitting on the nails and getting them out, and that will already help. Now, if you manage to get all the stuff off that was on the back side, that should leave you with just the two boards, which should actually be this long. I had to replace this, and I thought, screw it, I'm just going to cut that off. This is going to be cut off later on too. But if you manage to get it in one piece, screw these two parts, the one here and the one here, together, and then this one board goes on there. The boards on the side are the one that are going to be attached to this block right here, and of course you have that on your other side too if you manage to get it there in one piece. I didn't, so I sawed that off, and I replaced this one, but I just didn't have the energy to replace that one anymore. So I'm going to saw this off about the same size as that, and I'm just going to do that first board that you need to put on after that. That's going to go right here. So I'm going to put this board right on here without the wood in between. But if you manage to do it right and you didn't break any boards and your boards weren't rotten, then this would be on another board in between. I managed to break some of the wood was rotten, so I already put the top board on, and I'm going to put my door underneath it, but we have to saw the door on two sides, and since right now all the boards are in place, we need to put some boards behind it that we can sew in between. That is so all your boards don't fall apart and they stay right at the exact spacing that you have them now. So therefore we need to have two pieces of wood that go from here to here and from here to here, and you're going to sew right in between them next to this beam. So that's what I'm going to do now. And there's no pallet wood left over that is long enough for that, but that's okay, I've got some leftover wood. So that's where my two pieces are going to come, like that and like that. So that's where my wood is going to be. And when that's attached and I put the nails in there, I'm going to sew right in between here. So that's what we got. And then it needs to go inwards. And make sure that your blocks are used as stoppers behind these blocks in the middle. Or you can just completely take those blocks out. I think that's what they did in the picture. I don't see the middle blocks here. You might have taken the bottom blocks out also. I'm not sure. But it's too much effort. I'm just going to leave the middle blocks in there. They don't bother me. So, now we need to sew this line and this line. But I'm late for work, so that's going to be tomorrow. Okay, I moved my compost bin where I want it. I put it on tiles so that the wood is not rotting on the soil, to make it last a little longer. And I put a wooden beam, a thin wooden beam, in front of the compost bin, because I want to make sure that my door doesn't completely end on the tiles, so that it will be hard to open it when you're kind of grinding over the tiles. So it's going to be lifted up a little bit, and I just need to level the compost bin now. The perfect place, according to the people that have knowledge, I guess, is in the shade, out of the wind, as much as possible out of the rain. But I'm going to put a lid on there, and I'm going to also put a trash bag over it, so when it rains that it doesn't go into the compost bin. So yeah, now it's time to level it out. Okay, that looks good. Everything is sturdy now, doesn't wobble anymore, and I'm going to put in the door. Now, since I don't have anybody to hold that door up for me, I'll have to resort to just putting some planks up. I think I need to straighten it out a little bit more, and then I'm good to go to attach it with the nails. And the nails are going to go in like 2 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 there. And on the other side also. I have tilted my box because now we have to sew. And after we sew, we need to, because I'm going to sew the first board. I'm going to sew them one by one. And I'm going to screw in these things. I don't know what they're called in English. They're for the doors. And I'm going to do that one by one, so I make sure that those are straight, because that first board is a little crooked. So I don't want to take out the whole door and then try and figure out where those corner, what they're called, brackets, maybe, are put. So, one by one. I go right in between these two, and I'm going to move next to the board on this side. That right in the middle. So now that the first one is in, I'm just going to saw the next one. Okay, now that I got all them on there, I'm gonna sew it open right here. And that leaves you just with something to close. And you got your base done. That will just leave the lid. My saw did go into the wood there and in the on the bottom, but not too deep, so it's fine. Got my little door open. Needs a little help to get closed, but still pretty good. Can sand it down a little bit, maybe. Other than that, yeah, fine. For now, temporary solution, 2 nails and some rope to keep it closed. I got a mess that I need to clean up. Leaves and branches, and I want to put that in now. I made a lid for my compost bin, and I put corner brackets at the end. I got 3 sides standing up, 1 side laying down, and I added a middle part in between to put the boards on to close it up. Now I just screwed 2 more nails in here and on the other side to hold that up. I'm going to put boards on there that I still have, leftover boards that I was actually supposed to bring to the trash, but leftover boards that's been here from the previous owner, so I'm going to use those to just kind of do a full piece on the lid. And when I'm done with that, I'm going to cover it in plastic, which will be actually a trash bag. It's looking good. I had to saw off a little bit from the top board because everything was a little bit crooked. So let's go put it to the test. That looks actually pretty neat. I wonder if it's finished, if I could sell it. But way too much work. And I need another one too. So, yeah, so far it looks great. Let's put on the trash bag. Trash bag fits perfectly on there. So I'm going to use staples to staple that on, and then that's all finished. Here's the plastic. It was actually a perfect trash bag fit. So I just stapled that down, and because I don't want to put my lid up every time, I just put some hinges here, and they're actually inside out, but I had to do that because I'm missing some wood on this side, so I had to fill that up to make sure that that was in place, and to keep everything secure. I took a couple of chains, and they're connected with a hook that you just kind of screw in, so I put a regular screw in there first. I screwed that in and then took the screw out and then screwed that one in, because you got to do this one by hand. And that's how the hinge is attached. 2 in the lid and the rest in the board of the pallet. I also put the door clips on there, 3 of them. The last one is still with the rope, so you can just do 4 ropes. That would be possible too, but in this case the last one is with the rope because I already put some compost in there, so I couldn't get it on there anymore and make it stay closed. So I will leave it like this until next year, and then next year when this comes out, then I'll put the last handle on there. So looking actually pretty good, fancy. I'm pretty proud of it, and I hope it was useful for those who are going to do it for the first time like I did. And yeah, I hope that I'll be doing more pallet woodwork videos, and I hope to see you back, because basically everything I'm going to do is a first time. So I hope this was useful for those of you who want to try it for the first time. This was my first time. I'm pretty happy with the result. I'm going to make a second one. I'm going to do better. Live and learn. I guess that's the way it works. and I hope you'll be back for more of my first time videos working with pallet wood and setting up everything that I need in the greenhouse. So I hope you liked it, guys, and again, forgive me, I'm not a carpenter, this is my first time, I'm a beater, so you know, I understand that I made a lot of mistakes. I already see them and I already know what they are. But feel free to put them in the comment section, because I want to put up another one and maybe there's something that I didn't know yet. So maybe I'll get a aha moment from your work if you're more of a professional carpenter working with pallet woods.